Resiliency is not the same as survival. We may all be standing. That doesn't mean that we're anywhere near resilient. That takes tools, that takes building, that takes learning how to take care of our bodies, seeing who we are, and continuing to nurture that soil so we can be resilient, not just survive. Growing up in the church, my mom was a United Methodist pastor. You get to see all kind of faces and all these aspects of the church. There were so many intriguing parts about that. But also with that, and being a preacher's kid, comes that underbelly. So watching my mother really wrestle with burnout, she would kind of just get really quiet. It was a depression sitting in. And so going into college, my major was in psychology and I have a master's in counseling and went into therapy because really thought I could do the work in that way.
The hardest thing about being a pastor is maintaining balance. And sometimes I don't realize that I'm empty until everything's on E. And so that's when the burnout happens. That's when the gear starts grinding.
I really grew up loving the church. My first staff position was as an associate pastor. We started off in this really great relationship, this honeymoon period where everybody's happy and delighted. And then just all of a sudden, things started to change. Then I became very depressed. Sharing my pain with people, I became much more aware that this is so very common.
Chrysalis Consulting Center really came from my experience knowing that pastors have these mental health kind of things going on. And there's no pastors around, there's no colleagues or friends around, and that's isolating. And that's going to take a toll on you. So when I had the opportunity to kind of go in and work on my doctorate, and you get to do this great project, I thought, what better way to merge kind of my two worlds of being a therapist and being an ordained pastor than to develop some sort of retreat. As I was doing my research for my project, Clergy Health Initiative project with Duke Divinity was very helpful to get buy-in, even as I'm moving on in this nonprofit, that there's actually research behind this.
Kelly and I met at Claremont School of Theology. So when we got into our doctoral projects, she shared with me about her dream of having this retreat for pastors. It was really exciting to me because I had not heard of a retreat for ministers that included licensed therapists coming and working group work, one-on-one. And she really was looking at it very holistically.
When Kelly talked about her ministry of wanting to support pastors in kind of having this type of balance and having a healthy relationship, not just with their ministry, but with themselves, their body, their spirit, their soul, their community. I said, yes, sign me up.
Chrysalis Consulting Center for Clergy is all about clergy health and well-being, being able to sustain yourself in ministry for the long haul. So we offer these retreats. They're 3-day rest and renewal retreats. Then we offer continuing education hours, and that's for licensed therapists who may not fully understand or appreciate the life of a pastor. So in those continuing ed hours, we really work with therapists about how you work with clergy, what makes clergy unique, what makes clergy really different. Then we offer telemental health services, and it's all about clergy mental health because that makes everything better. One of the pieces of why we pick where we come to is we really encourage hiking, we encourage physical, anything that can connect to that. There's something that speaks to you here. It's almost like going to a cathedral. You just feel this awe. Things like art therapy, play therapy, music therapy, are ways to engage in parts of you that you may have lost touch with. One of the aspects of the retreat is this physical piece. It's the being present with your physical body.
I truly believe that we're not meant to do this by ourselves. I believe that if we don't change our understanding of how we support clergy and how we think about ministry writ large, then the effectiveness of the church is at stake. The effectiveness of our witness is at stake. The effectiveness of our ability to make transformation and impact in this world is at stake. And I believe that ideas such as hope and reconciliation and justice and these things that the church at its best represents is needed more than ever today. So we cannot afford to have clergy falling down on the job. We cannot have clergy burning out. We need clergy on the front lines, empowering congregations and communities to show up likewise.
Our dream for Chrysalis Consulting Center for Clergy is to be that place, that go-to place for clergy from wherever they are, to be able to come to experience retreat and even to consult with, like, here is a model that works. What is a place in your context that this model could work, and that we can help be a catalyst for that for so many people.